Hey guys, how's it going? I'm just setting up my little setup here. Where are you guys tuning in from? It is about 1:30 here in Hawaii. I'm curious where you guys are coming from. Hey, hair's got a little coconut oil in it. It's a little shinier than normal. Hey guys, Los Angeles, Virginia, England, Oregon. Awesome, Dallas. Hey guys, I love live Q&As. I don't know why more YouTubers don't do them, because I personally would enjoy watching them. Whew, okay. Ireland, Missouri. Awesome. Sweet. Right now I'm sipping on a little bit of yerba mate and lime juice and stevia and water, of course. Colorado, Tasmania. Awesome. There is a crazy thunderstorm outside right now, and I've only experienced like 2 other thunderstorms since being here in Hawaii, which is interesting. Do you drink Starbucks? No, I don't really drink Starbucks. I mean, I do on very rare occasions. You just bought You Are a Badass. Great book. Awesome. So happy to hear that. Am I gonna go on tour? I think one day in the future, maybe in the next couple of years, I'll go on tour. Man, my hair looks greasy, but it's really just coconut oil. So let's get to some questions and answers. I was thinking it would be kind of cool if we could do like 15 minutes on one topic. So maybe like we start with 15 minutes talking just about food and diet and nutrition. And then we do another 15 minutes, which is more about like life in Hawaii, how I found a place here, how I came out here with not much money. And we could do another 15 minutes on like fitness or just whatever topics you guys are interested in. So let me know right now which type of topic you would like to start talking about. So instead of asking questions, let me know what topics you want to talk about. Moving to Hawaii. Hawaii, food, religion, Hanakiki, food, fitness. Okay, looks like a lot of people are saying food. So we'll start with food and then we'll move to something else in a little bit. Sound good? All right, so whatever food-related questions you have, go ahead and start asking. And then at around 1:45 p.m. here, I will kind of gather everyone together and we can switch to a different topic. What is my favorite fruit and vegetable? I would say right now my favorite fruit is banana, just currently, but I think like overall my favorite fruit would be a mango or lychee. My favorite vegetable right now, aside from greens, probably zucchini. How is Addison's diet different from mine? Well, I tend to eat more like salad type meals in the evening, and usually in the evening he has a meal with cooked vegetables and sometimes lentils or like beans and rice. He has those things a lot more in the afternoon and evening, and I have salads. But throughout the day, we're normally both drinking juice and smoothies. How many meals do you have in a day? So that kind of varies. I would say normally 3 meals, but sometimes I snack all throughout the day. But if I'm like following, like the norm is probably a juice and then a smoothie and then a salad. But sometimes I have days where I'm just like kind of snacking and grazing. Let's see. Do I like McDonald's? No. Do I miss eating meat? No, not at all. You get to a point where like it's been out of your diet for so long that it's just not something you really think about anymore. Oh, I just realized I forgot to curl my eyelashes today. Ow! Oh my God, that hurt. I was trying to curl it with my fingers and I think I like poked myself in the eye. Whoa. Do you guys ever do this? Do you like curl your eyelashes with your fingers? Now I'm making my eyes all red. Cravings. Cravings. What do I crave? I crave like French fries on occasion and warm curry dishes on occasion and chocolate on occasion. Let's see. So remember, guys, we're just going to do questions about food first. Let's see. Do I drink alcohol? No, I don't. I've actually been about 5 months alcohol free, and I plan on just keeping that going. I've kind of been enjoying not having alcohol. How to be raw vegan and an athlete that needs protein. So if you want to eat raw and get enough protein, there is definitely a big role in greens, the amount of greens that you eat. So I would say like when you're making a smoothie in the morning, definitely toss in like handfuls and handfuls of dark leafy greens. And you can also eat broccoli in the evenings and just like really load up on greens. Also a lot of nuts and seeds have a lot of protein. So if you have like cashew butter or almond butter or tahini or just like kind of like raw trail mixes, definitely load up on the greens and the nuts and seeds. And you can also use like a raw protein powder in your smoothie if you wanted to. So I would say those are the big things. Do I ever sprout sunflower seeds? No, I don't, but I do have sunflower sprouts. Whoa, did you guys hear that thunder? I have some sunflower sprouts in my fridge right now. Do I ever crave junky processed food? On very rare occasions. I think as time goes on, I crave it less and less. So like if somebody's eating chips in front of me, like corn chips or French fries, I like do crave it on occasion, but normally it's like, oh, that would be really good right now. And then I'm like, no. And I remember that it won't make me actually feel too good. So that's kind of how I deal with my cravings, is I just think realistically, like, is that going to make me feel good afterwards? Is it worth not feeling good afterwards to eat that? And usually it's not. Favorite smoothie recipe? Recently I've been trying one out which is more chocolatey, and it's banana and dates and cacao or carob powder and a little bit of vanilla bean powder and maca powder. That one's really good. What are your thoughts on vegan cheese? Well, they're definitely not the most high in health foods. They tend to be more processed, but if you are craving cheese and you don't particularly like cashew cheese, then you can definitely, you know, use those vegan transition foods like the vegan cheeses. I also saw this video online for a cheese that you make with potato, carrot, onion, nutritional yeast, and a couple of other things. So it's like whole foods, but you blend it up. You like steam those veggies and you blend it up and it becomes like a warm nacho cheese. So I would just say like try making your own vegan cheeses before going to buy those packaged vegan cheeses. Trying to grow my eyelashes still. How can I start being vegan? I would say start out by having like one vegan day every week or one vegan meal every day. You can kind of play around with it and see what works best for you, but I would say start small like that, or you can go like 100% cold turkey and just like remove everything for 1 week and see how you feel. But if you don't feel like you're ready for that, then I would say start by having a vegan meal every day. So maybe one day it's breakfast, the next day you have a vegan lunch, the next day you have vegan snacks, the next day it's a vegan dinner or vegan dessert. And if that works well for you, then try having like a whole vegan day every single week and then just increase the amount of meals or the amount of days that you're vegan. Also, like stock up really fill your house with vegan food. Okay, about 5 more minutes of vegan questions or nutrition questions, and we will move to something else. How does your skin stay so clear? So my skin has definitely not been looking the best in the past couple of months because I went through some periods of stress, and I actually had some like dry spots on my skin and some pimples just throughout the past couple of months. But I would say being hydrated is really important. The more water I drink, I notice my skin is better. Also, the least, like as little salt and processed food as possible. If I have any processed food, usually I have a pimple that comes up, but if I stay away from it completely and just eat like mostly whole foods, mostly raw, low salt, I feel like my skin looks better. When I eat salt, my like face just gets a little bit puffier and less defined. So I guess that's not really like blemishes I'm talking about, but I think like the more fresh food you can eat, the better your skin's gonna be. Also, like lower fat helps as well. La 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 la. Favorite raw vegan recipe? Well, a really amazing one is avocado, mango, rosemary, and lime juice. Blend that up and put it on top of zucchini noodles. That is a really good raw vegan recipe. My favorite dressing, my favorite raw vegan dressing is with tahini, apple cider vinegar, lime juice, and coconut aminos, and sometimes I'll put it in a blender with some zucchini and blend that up, and it's so good. That's my favorite raw vegan dressing. How to go vegan on a budget. You can Google this and find so many awesome resources, but I would say stick to the foods that are naturally cheaper. So like dates and bananas and beans and rice are all like really cheap vegan foods, and like based on the calories that they have. Like dates are fairly expensive, but like they're super calorie dense. So as far as that goes, I would say load up on the like cheap vegan staples, and then just have like a couple of other more exotic foods or not like your staple items. Hello from England. Do you drink coffee? No, not really. I've had coffee like on occasion in the past few months, but if I drink it like for an extended period of time, my body kind of just freaks out because it doesn't handle caffeine super well. I've been having yerba mate recently, and it's working because I can kind of like choose how much caffeine is in like a certain size jar when I get coffee. Well, I've never made coffee. No, I'm just rambling. Never mind. Thoughts on honey? Do you drink tea? Yeah, so I recently started drinking yerba mate in the mornings, and I did get like a nighttime tea, but I have yet to try it. La 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 la. Okay, so I think we have a couple more minutes of nutrition questions, and then we'll switch to something else. Would you make your kids go vegan? So, oh, also somebody just asked, do I get bored eating vegan? So I don't really plan on having kids in the near future, but hypothetically speaking, if I had kids, would I feed them vegan? Most definitely. I just see that that's the most compassionate diet and eco-friendly diet to eat. So I can't imagine or seafood or anything like that for any reason. So somebody said, how do I not get bored while eating vegan? There are so many vegan alternatives to like other foods that I used to eat. I can make like a raw vegan mac and cheese, raw vegan pasta, raw vegan granola. They have that in the stores, and I can make that stuff. It's really all about creativity. It seems like you guys want to talk about honey. So I don't have a ton of education around honey. I don't know like all of the specifics, but what I do know is that the bees are disappearing in the world, and that the bees are not treated very well. What I do know is that in tropical places where it's warm all year round and the bees don't have to hibernate, that honey is actually more ethical in those places. So for example, in Alaska or in New York, it's really warm. It's great living conditions for bees for maybe half of the year. And then they store their honey for the colder part of the year because they can't produce it because there's not flowers and all of that for them to pollinate and produce the honey. So they're storing it. And if we were to take their honey in that type of climate, we would be taking their food that they need for that part of the year that they're not producing it. Whereas in a tropical place or a warmer place where it's the same temperature all year round, give or take a couple degrees, the bees produce extra honey, but they don't need it because it doesn't get cold. So it can potentially be less controversial and less unethical in a warmer place. But overall, like, I don't think that it's necessary to have in the diet. Okay, maybe one more vegan question. I mean, food question. Do I ever crave cooked food? Yeah, on occasion I do. Stop food questions. Okay, I'll stop after this one. On occasion, I will want something that's cooked, usually if it's around me already. Normally, if I'm just like sitting here working or focused on something, and a thought comes through my head like, wow, potatoes would be good right now, it's pretty easy to like push that away because I could also just eat something raw right now. But it's when something's like in front of me, like a friend has just made a cooked meal and it's in front of me, that I'm like, oh yeah, that looks kind of good. But I just usually remember like how it will make me feel afterwards, and that kind of allows me to stay true to what I want. Okay, so if you want to throw out some topic ideas for the next 15 minutes, we'll do like a full another round focused on a different topic. So maybe it can be business related, how I got settled here in Hawaii. It could be fitness related, whatever. What kind of music I like? So I have a Spotify playlist. If you search Alyse Parker, you can find that on there. Recipes. So I'm definitely not going to be talking about sex on this channel. That would be something that goes on my personal channel. Probably will not be talking about birth control or Addison today. Birth control is something that I'm going to talk about in the future, so just stay patient with that one. And Addison's currently working in the other room, so he's not going to join me today, but if you didn't tune into my last Q&A, we probably have like 30 minutes of a Q&A, me and Addison answering questions. So look back on my last Q&A after this one's over. So what other topics could we talk about? It looks like a lot of people are saying religion, zero waste, fitness, stress relief, enemas, money. I see religion coming up a lot. That's actually something I addressed in the last one as well. Let's see. Okay, I mean, I guess we'll talk about religion, maybe not for 15 minutes, but I will address it for you since it's like continuously coming up. I would kind of feel bad avoiding that one. So when it comes to religion, I'll kind of repeat what I said in the past Q&A. One sec. Someone wanted me to flex. Okay. So we'll talk about religion real quick, and then we'll move on to something else. So religion questions, if you want to ask me any religion questions, and I'll just vaguely say what my feelings and thoughts are. So I tend to believe in something that's like a little bit deeper than religion, and my thoughts are that like most religions all encompass the same goal, the same theme, which is that we should be kind people, we should be loving, we should act in a compassionate way and think about fairness and respect each other and all of that. And I just feel like all religions have a couple of things in common, and there's a couple of things that like all human beings have in common that is beyond religion, and that is the desire to feel healthy and feel happy and feel loved and to avoid pain and suffering and discomfort. And we all have that in common. And I feel like religions tend to divide us into a couple of different groups, and being a part of a religion, believing in a religion, definitely gives people a sense of community and acceptance, and that they fit into somewhere, they fit into a place, they fit into this group. And it can be a very, very positive thing, but I think it can also be negative because it's splitting people up, you know, splitting this group of people who believe in this apart from these people, and it creates some division between us. And what I believe in is community and unity and not having anything that divides us. So I would say, like, if I had to put a name on my religion or say what it is, it's that I just believe in love, and that I believe in being connected to everybody, and that we should try to avoid things that are separating us. Yeah, so I can go into that a little deeper, but I'll probably leave it right there. So if you have any specific questions around that, around religion, I'd be happy to answer a couple of things that you'd like to ask about. So I'm going to scroll back and see if you guys said anything. Do I pray? I don't think I would call it a prayer, but sometimes before meals, I'll think to myself, or just think like, wow, I'm so grateful for this food. I'm grateful that it's all local, or it's mostly local, and I'm thankful for the farmers who helped create this, who put the seeds in their land and harvested it. I'm grateful for everyone who got it from the farm to the store, and that it was possible for me to use it in my meal. And I think about things that I'm grateful for, like usually in the morning, but sometimes throughout the day, and I just try and be really appreciative. So I don't know if that would be considered a prayer. It's kind of just like positive thoughts and positive intentions and appreciation. Let's see. So do you believe in a higher power? I'm not so sure that I do believe in a higher power. I just believe that we're all connected here. And sure, there can be a higher power, but that can come in so many different forms. It can come in the form of God or nature or ourselves. We can be our own higher power. So I'm not so sure that it has to be one way, or, you know, it just seems like that makes it more complex. And I feel like it's as simple as the fact that we all want to share love and to be loved and to avoid pain and suffering. And if we can just act out of that, if we can just think about that when we speak to another person, when we're passing someone by on the sidewalk, you know, are we showing that we want to be loved and want to share love? Are we waving and saying, hello, how's your day? I hope that you're doing great today. Or are we just walking past somebody and acting like they don't exist when we all have that underlying desire to be happy and to feel loved? So that's kind of how I think about it all. As far as the afterlife goes, somebody asked me if I could do a video about this or talk about my thoughts about what happens when we die. And to be honest, I think it's kind of counterproductive. Like, it's not very productive or proactive to talk about that. I think that if we can align our values, or align our actions with our values for our entire life and do our best to contribute positively to the world and positively to the lives of others, that the afterlife is just like irrelevant right now. And to think about that and dwell on that is taking us away from living in the present moment. So, are you coming to New Zealand? Please answer. I also love your channel. Thanks, Holly. I definitely will be. Oops. No. I definitely will be going to New Zealand in the future. I'm not sure when though. New topic. I agree. Let's do a new topic. I'm not sure what my BMI is. We'll do one new topic and then we'll kind of have like the last 15 minutes, just general questions. Depression and anxiety, talk about life in Hawaii, business. Enemas? We could talk about enemas. I'm definitely going to share a video about enemas. It'll probably be my personal channel. Views on children. What are you drinking? I just finished drinking yerba mate, water, lime juice, stevia. Law of attraction. That would be a good topic. Okay, so what I'm seeing is law of attraction or life in Hawaii as a topic. Oh, or enemas. So let me know what you're thinking. Law of attraction or enemas or life in Hawaii. Whoa, that was so loud. That scared me so bad. Did you guys hear that? Never heard lightning that loud. Enemas, life in Hawaii, law of attraction. Okay, I think we will do life in Hawaii. Yeah, you guys heard that? Sorry, it scared you. No, this is not an engagement ring. I just choose to wear it on this finger. Okay, let's talk about life in Hawaii. So we'll talk about this for maybe like 10 minutes and then we'll switch it up again. Thank you, Jules. Okay, so I got to Hawaii a little bit over a year ago. When I first got here, I came out here with around $500. And I also had a car that I had left at my parents' house, which they were going to try and sell for me so that I had a little bit more money, because I just knew before I came out here that I didn't really want to live on the mainland again, but I just knew that Hawaii was the spot. And so I had $500 and yeah, it did sound like a gunshot. So I came out here and I lived on a fruit farm, and I would work 2 to 4 hours every day on the farm, well, Monday through Friday. And then in my free time, I was working on raw alignment. I was recording videos, editing videos. Man, I hate it when people say, "Who is that behind you?" when I'm like recording something. It seriously scares me so bad. So thanks, Mallory, for scaring me. Why did I choose the Big Island? Because I had a couple of friends and acquaintances who all lived out here, and I just didn't really know I didn't really know anybody else on the other islands, so I just kind of felt like, okay, I have friends that eat a fruit-based diet and they say that this is like the best place to be, and I was struggling with eating all raw because I was in colder climates, and I was like, okay, I guess Big Island is what's up. So that's why I chose this island. So definitely ask me Hawaii-based questions right now. Is Hawaii expensive? It's not as expensive as you would think. But that being said, I came from living in Connecticut, which was one of the most expensive states in the US. And I would say that Connecticut is more expensive than Hawaii. Cost of living. So if you are eating a whole foods diet, if you're eating local food, it's going to be cheaper for you to get food here. When I get like potatoes that are grown here, or tomatoes or lettuce, that stuff is seriously cheaper than it is on the mainland, or cheaper than like organic local lettuces on the mainland. Is that Addison behind the window? Addison is in there. So what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, but if I wanted to get packaged food like tahini in a container, that is being shipped from the mainland. So that's going to be more expensive. As far as cost of, so that's kind of like cost of food. Cost of food is cheaper out here if you're eating fresh food, but if you're eating packaged food, it's going to be more expensive. So this is definitely an ideal spot for someone who eats raw or somebody who eats a whole food vegan diet. Are there a lot of mosquitoes? There is definitely a bit of mosquitoes. I would say more so in the jungle. Like I live in downtown right now, so there's not as many mosquitoes around where I live. Let's see. Okay. What else? Do I ever get homesick? No, I don't ever get homesick because this feels like home to me. Let's see. How much rain? So right now it's the rainy season on this side of the island, which means it's raining a lot. I would say there's been like a handful of sunny days in the past 2 to 3 weeks. It's pouring rain right now. And I think the best time to live on Kona's side of the island is during the winter. Like it's best to not be in the rainy side of the island in the winter time. Does it get cold there? No, not really. I feel like the coldest it would get like in the town area, of course, like up on the mountain is a little different. It would probably be like 65 degrees, maybe 60 degrees, but it's usually like around 75 degrees. Let's see, any other Hawaii questions? I would say like the cost of the homes is definitely cheaper than California, definitely cheaper than Connecticut. Biggest con of living in Hawaii? Honestly, I can't think of any cons of living in Hawaii, except I guess like flights to other parts of the world are more expensive and longer. It can take like 10 hours to get to the East Coast. What's the temperature right now? It's probably around 70 or 70, a little over 70 degrees right now. Are there cockroaches? Yes, there are cockroaches here. We don't have a big issue with them in our house, but a lot of people do. There are no climbing spots on this island, which is pretty crazy. Favorite island in Hawaii? I've actually only ever been to the Big Island. I do plan on going to Kauai in a couple of months, and I've been thinking about maybe going to Oahu in a couple of days, but this is the only island I've been to. Do a lot of friends move from Hawaii because they can't afford it? I really don't think that affording it is an issue out here. It's really like, it can be affordable unless you're living right where the tourists live. It's really affordable out here. I don't know how it is for the other islands. I've heard that Oahu is much more expensive. But no, I've never heard of anyone moving away because they couldn't afford it. Okay, so I guess we'll open it up to like general questions now because it seems like we covered some good topics. The rent kind of varies. I would say in the most expensive part of the island, it can be like $1,200 for a 1-bedroom apartment, or $1,400 for like a nicer 1-bedroom apartment. But sorry, trying to multitask and read what your questions are at the same time. Right now, I'm currently paying $500 a month or $450 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment. But I would say on average, maybe like $500 or $600 for a 3-bedroom apartment is more reasonable. This is, or not reasonable, but average. This is a cheap deal, but really nice place. Let's see. Do I like gerbils? Sure, I like all animals. Did you suffer from acne after going vegan at all? No, I did not, but you can try lowering your fat intake. That tends to work for a lot of individuals with acne. Where in Kauai? I will be hiking the Napali coast. How are the jobs there? So there's a lot of jobs on Kona side of the island, which is like the touristy side. And there's not really a ton of jobs here in Hilo at all. I would say like a lot of people here have online businesses. Are you allergic to something? Yes, I'm allergic to cats and to dust. And I don't know what else I'm allergic to. I feel like there's a couple things. What time is it there right now? It is a little bit after 2 a.m. How to get over a breakup? I would certainly suggest reconnecting with the things that you feel like you maybe have been neglecting when you were in a relationship. I feel like there's always going to be a couple of things that you spend like a little bit less time on when you are in a relationship. So I would say reconnect with those things and spend your time doing things that you really enjoy. Maybe pick up a new hobby if you don't feel like there were things that you could have stopped doing in the relationship. Maybe just altogether like pick up a new hobby, start being a little bit more social with other individuals, reconnect with friends that maybe you haven't been seeing or talking to as much, and just really focus on nurturing yourself and caring for yourself. What foods do you like or don't I like? What foods do you like? I think it would be cool if I answered what foods don't I like. I don't like peas. I'm not a big fan of like things that are really, really spicy. I don't really like that. I think I like most things. Just don't like peas or raw mushrooms. Gross. Are your parents vegan? No, they are not. Do you live your life by the law of attraction? Yes, I would definitely say that I tend to do that. So many good questions. Yeah, I definitely believe in the law of attraction. I believe that the things that we focus on, we attract more of that into our life. Yes, I have had braces. I had them in high school for 2 years. Hey, from Georgia. Hello, from Hawaii. My middle name is Christine. I am sitting on a big beanbag chair. And I guess maybe I should address that I'm answering questions. Otherwise, it just sounds like I'm saying a bunch of random things. Like, my middle name is Christine. I'm sitting on a beanbag chair. How old am I? I'm 22. Do I have a boyfriend? Yes, I do have a boyfriend. Hair care. I have a video of my hair care routine on my channel. What made me go vegan? Oh, can you make a Draw My Life video? Yes, I can. What made me go vegan? Definitely my health at first. I went vegan and just got rid of processed food and just started eating mostly raw. And it was for my health originally, and then I learned about the animals and how being vegan is just so logical. It just makes sense. Favorite thing about Addison? That's a hard one. I enjoy a lot of things about Addison. One thing that I love is that he's very stable. Like when I go through phases of like wanting to do something for this period of time and wanting to start with something new and like try new things, travel new places, like I'm all over the place and he's just very grounded. I wouldn't say that's like my absolute favorite thing, but it's just one of the many good qualities. What was that? You just walked by when I said that. Do you feel better now that you've lost the dreads? Yes, I do. My hair feels so good, and it feels nice to be able to touch my scalp. Do you see your future with Addison? I mean, I can't really like predict the future, but Addison and I will definitely be together for a long time. Questions are whizzing by so fast. I know, right? Hi, I love you. I'm 12. Hello. How old is Addison? Addison is 26. Somebody asked, how did Addison and I meet? I actually shared that story with him in my last Q&A video, so check that out. Body wash. I use Dr. Bronner's unscented soap. How was living in a van? It was enjoyable, but not sustainable and not really practical for the type of business that I have. Cooked foods that I miss. Definitely curry and like steamed broccoli. I love steamed broccoli, or like any broccoli that's not raw, and curry. Why do I wear this necklace all the time? This necklace is from my grandma, and I really love the moon, and it's a little crescent moon, so that's why I wear it. Let's see. Does Addison have a job? Yes, he works with me on raw alignment related things. Tips for losing weight in high school. I would say try to prepare your food either one day every week, so like on a Sunday, or just prepare your food the night before school. So create, like make 1 or 2 smoothies for yourself and bring those to school with you. So instead of eating like candy from the vending machine or like crappy carbs and processed food from the cafeteria, you have 2 huge smoothies. You can also bring chopped up fruit, chopped up veggies, your own homemade salad dressing, so you don't have to use the salad dressings and sauces they have there. So just try and like stay more prepared. Do I sing? No, I don't sing. Some people are asking about music taste, and I have a Spotify profile, so you can check out my music on there. I have things separated into different playlists. So just search Alyse Parker and it'll pop up. Ever think about going zero waste? Yes, that's actually been popping up a lot for me recently. And today I decided to research it a little bit, and I am going to do my best to jump into that, and I'll definitely document my journey with you guys. What do you think about Freely asking Trish to live with her? I don't know who Trish is, and I don't follow Freely's videos. Let's see. Biggest accomplishment of my life. I would say like a pretty big accomplishment has been dropping out of college and moving to Hawaii and actually being able to financially support myself. I'm pretty proud of myself for making that all work out. Are there snakes in Hawaii? No, there are not. It's a pretty safe place. Do you have roommates? Yes, Addison is technically a roommate, and then my friend Joey is our roommate as well. What do I eat for protein? I eat nut butter, so like tahini, or I just got a new cashew butter, and I also eat a lot of leafy greens. And I have raw protein powder. My biggest fear, I'm pretty afraid of tsunamis. Just thinking about tsunamis kind of scares the shit out of me. Where did I go to college? I went to a place called Life University. Can you do a live video on Instagram? Yes, I can definitely do that. I've been wanting to try it out. What's going on with your blood tests? Awesome question. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to invest the money into getting tested for more things because I've only gotten one test so far and it came back positive. Like I didn't have anything wrong with my iron levels. But I think that I'm going to get tested for like a couple of more things just so I can have a bigger overview and like more details about how I'm doing. How do you get iron? My iron is super low on a vegan diet. Just literally Google iron on a vegan diet and you'll come up with like the top 5 or top 10 foods to get iron from and just increase your intake of those things. How do you spell your first name? Alyse. Are you scared of spiders? No, not really. I used to be like insanely scared of spiders, but I have grown to be okay with them. Am I going to come to Poland? I don't have any plans to come to Poland, but perhaps one day. Broccoli and spinach for more iron. Heck yeah. Christmas plans. I actually don't have any Christmas plans. I'm not sure if you saw my most recent video, but I shared my thoughts on Christmas and holidays in general. And yeah, I don't really have any plans for Christmas. I mean, I might have dinner like with my group of friends here, but I don't have any other plans. Do you have or want pets? I do not have any pets right now. I recently had a fish, but it passed away right before I came out here to Hawaii. My parents have a dog, and that used to be like our family dog. And I would not be opposed to getting a pet or companion animal in the future, but since I'm about to start hiking the Appalachian Trail, it doesn't really make sense to get an animal right now. How are my hands doing? Thanks for asking. They're almost like totally normal. You can see there's still like a little discoloration. For those of you who don't know, I got burned by citrus juice. I had lime juice on my hands and then I went out in the sun and it got like super burned, but they're almost back to normal. How can I become your friend? Join the Raw Alignment community on Facebook and we can be friends on there. Do I kill bugs? Do I kill bugs? I'm trying to think of like the last time I found a big bug. I don't think that I kill bugs. If there's ever like a huge cockroach, I usually have somebody else capture it and put it outside. Same thing with spiders, but there's not really big spiders inside here. No, I don't think that I kill any bugs. How to get motivated again? Think about your ideal goal, your ideal, whatever you're trying to get motivated for, think about why you want that. Become really clear on your vision of why you want it, how you'll benefit from achieving that, and allow that to motivate you. Do I have any siblings? Yes, I have one older brother. Do you have wisdom teeth? No, I have not gotten my wisdom teeth in yet. When you clapped your hands, that scared me. Sorry. Is your book available in hardcover? No, my self-love book is not available in hardcover yet, but in the future it will be. I'm not sure when. Will you be speaking at the Woodstock Fruit Festival again this year? Yes, I will be. If anyone who's tuned in right now has been thinking about going to the Fruit Festival next year, it's going to be in August, and you can use the code Raw Alignment to get $100 off. And it is a life-changing experience. If you are living somewhere where you're not surrounded by individuals who are like on the same page as you, like people who just don't want to eat healthy, don't want to get healthy, don't want to be fit, are hard to connect with, the Woodstock Fruit Festival is going to become your new family if you decide to go. It's a great it's a great place and I'm so excited to be speaking there. I'll actually be oh, you guys are saying kind of vulgar things. I'll actually be hiking to the Appalachian Trail. So I'll be starting in Georgia in April, and I'll be hiking all the way up, and hopefully I'll be around the place where the fruit festival is in New York in August, so that I'll literally walk there, and then I'll continue hiking afterwards. Let's see. Do you care that I love your channel but follow the average American diet? No, I don't care. Definitely doesn't make me angry or anything like that. If anything, I'm happy for you to be here, and perhaps the things that I talk about in my videos will lead you into feeling inspired to try and make some healthier meals for yourself. Have you taken the Enneagram test? No, I've never heard of that before, but I'll... Enneagram. Oh, I've never heard of this, but I'm gonna take it right after the live Q&A. How did you think of the name Raw Alignment? I thought of it for a while, and it took me a significant amount of time for me to like settle on the name, but I really like it because it encompasses more than just raw food. It's like a raw life, a raw and real and authentic life, and it also incorporates, you know, raw living food, and raw paired with alignment is just like being your true self in every way. And I really love the name because aligning every part of your life, finding balance between food and exercise and relationships and work and nature and like a spirituality, finding balance and alignment between all of these things, and like really making sure that you're authentic in your relationships and what you say about your views on diet, making sure that you actually like act on that instead of saying like, oh, I agree with veganism, but like it's just really hard for me and I love the taste of meat and stuff like that. Raw alignment is all about like breaking down societal barriers and obstacles and views and just like doing what feels right for you and acting in alignment with your beliefs. Is your hair thick or thin? I would say it's somewhere in the middle. When I took my dreads out, it was definitely really thin, but it's thickening back up again. Is Addison a minimalist? Yes, I would consider Addison a minimalist. He doesn't really have any belongings. What is your honest opinion on people who don't follow the things that I do? That they're awesome, that everyone is incredible, and nobody has to follow all of the things that I do. I'm definitely not here to tell you to do what I do. I'm just sharing my journey, and if that can inspire you to align yourself with your personal beliefs more than you are, then that's it. That's awesome. But I'm definitely not here to like tell you that you're doing something wrong. I'm more so just here to inspire you in any possible way that I can. Is Addison a raw vegan? No, he is a vegan. Is drinking tea considered not raw? I think it depends on what temperature you heat the water up to. Technically, anything under than 118 degrees, say like 115 to be on the safer side. If anything's over that, then technically it's not raw. So it just depends what the water's heated up to, and I guess it also depends on the tea leaves. If those have been dried at like over 118 degrees, then technically it's not raw. No, I don't drink alcohol. Do I still talk to my friends from high school? That's a good question. I talked to a couple of friends from high school. I wouldn't say like on a super regular basis, but we are like on speaking terms. We're still friendly with each other. Maybe like a handful of people. It's really hard to like keep in contact with all these people that I still want to like stay up to date with and see how they're doing and be there for. and also have like a full group of like 10 or more friends here. And then I'm still talking with some people in Georgia from when I lived in Georgia. It's hard to like still be in communication with so many people. So I do my best. How do you stay so calm? Any tips for stress? How are you mentally right now in your life? You seem like you're back to being stress-free. Yes, I definitely feel like I'm back to being stress-free. It was a rough couple of months for me. How do I stay stress-free and like so calm? I think this is just my nature. Like I just naturally, I'm a calm, chill person. It's difficult for me to get stressed. It's definitely not like my normal spot. When I'm stressed, I'm out of alignment. So the more that I take care of myself, the more that I like go to bed at a reasonable time, give myself enough time to sleep, the more that I exercise, well, not the more, because like you can definitely over exercise, but the more that I just like get everything in balance, that I'm eating good portion sizes and good food and being active and hydrated and getting outside in the fresh air, but also like take days to just wrap myself in my blanket. The more that I find balance between everything, like the more stress-free I feel. So definitely just take care of yourself. When's my birthday? My birthday is March 21st. Do you sell locks of armpit hair? No, I currently don't do that, but maybe one day in the future. La 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 la. So I think I'm going to get going in like 5 minutes or so. So maybe we'll just answer a couple more questions. One thing I do want to say before you decide to click out is that if you use the code HAPPY when purchasing my self-love ebook, you can get it for $15 instead of $20. So 25% off if you use the code HAPPY. And you just have to go to rawalignment.com/self-love. And you can check out my book. I share all of my personal self-love, self-care practices in there. So if you're struggling with an eating disorder, if you're struggling with, an exercising problem, either exercising too much or you just can't get the motivation to go to the gym, if you're struggling with an abusive relationship or unhealthy friendships, or you're at a job that you just don't want to be at, if you're at a job that's not serving you, if you are struggling in any of those areas, I really believe that my self-love book will provide you with the guidance to really start excelling in those areas and caring for yourself. So like I said, I share all of my personal self-care practices in there, and they are what keep me sane. They are what have pushed me to get out of the box that I was in. Self-love and self-care is what has pushed me to drop out of school and move to Hawaii and have like really valuable relationships, and to get fit, to stay healthy, to keep me on track. And self-love is just the best thing in the world. It's a game changer for real. So if you're interested in that at all, just go to rawalignment.com/self-love. Yeah. All right, a couple more questions, and then I'm going to get going. Have you ever heard of Ralph? Or ever watched Ralph Smart? Yes, I have watched him. Do I have a Snapchat? Yes, it is Raw Alignment. Have I ever met Kate Flowers, or how did I meet Kate Flowers? We met each other via YouTube or Instagram or something like that. I think she commented on a picture and was like, Hawaii's beautiful, I have to come out there. And I was like, dude, come visit me. And then we kind of just became friends like that. Let's see. Views on drugs, I will definitely share that on my personal channel. Once Vlogmas is over, I'm going to have a lot more time to have like a video on Raw Alignment and then a video on my personal channel. Video on Raw Alignment, video on personal channel. So once in like a week or something when it's over, I'll be sharing more personal videos over there. And I'll get back to my like topic focused videos on Raw Alignment. Do I ever do anything to my eyebrows? I will pluck right here, but that's it. I don't do any shaping of any sort. They just are naturally shaped this way. So I just pluck right there a little bit. What's my favorite book? Definitely You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. The best book ever. It's definitely focused towards a female audience though. What's your view on wearing makeup? I have a video of that on my channel, so definitely check that out. What's my personal channel called? It's called Alyse, A-L-Y-S-E. What program do I use to edit? I currently use Final Cut Pro. I used to use iMovie. Okay, you guys have awesome questions, but I am going to go ahead and tune out. I'm getting a little tired from answering all of these, so we will have another Q&A in the future. I'm going to film a house tour video and have some more what I eat in a day videos and workout videos in this next week of Vlogmas. So stay tuned for all of that, and yeah, just let me know what other topics you're interested in. You can comment those on videos. You can tweet to me what you want to see. You can get in touch with me on any social media platform, and I will write your video ideas down. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really am glad that you wanted to spend this time with me, and I hope that I answered your question. If I didn't, just ask again in the next Q&A, and join the Raw Alignment community on Facebook, and go to rawalignment.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, the purple section, and that's where you can sign up for my email list. I have been sending a lot of emails to my email list recently. So if you want to get some emails by me and listen to stories that I have to share with you, then definitely go to rawalignment.com. To the very bottom, put in your email, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you.